All right, well, welcome everybody to Summer B. My name is Dr. Stacy Malloret, and I'm also doing this video for anyone in Dr. Haley Winston's class, as we are teaching the same course in different sections. So you're going to see some things on the course that have Dr. Winston's name on it, and some that have my name on it on her side. I'm also going to be doing a live session for all of the chapter reviews throughout the semester for both my class and Dr. Winston's classes. So you're welcome to come to any of those. Even though all the materials are in an asynchronous format, we like to do these Zoom sessions in case you have any questions and want to talk to a live person instead of just seeing what's recorded on the screen. And so all of these sessions are on in my class on the calendar as an optional opportunity for you to learn about the chapters, because we're going through 11 chapters this Summer B semester. Or for Dr. Winston's class, I know that she has sent out a message with all of those chapters and when those sessions are. I did them at random times so that I could accommodate all of your schedules based on if you have other classes that you're taking, either Zoom or in person. But all of these sessions will be recorded so that you can view them at another time. Okay, are there any questions before we get started that anyone has? All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm just going to give you a preview of what the course is all about, help you understand how to access things, how to submit assignments. If y'all could do a thumbs up the on the reactions, has anyone used Canvas before? You can give me a thumbs up. Because some high schools use a different, okay, Aiden, I saw you have. Okay, I see several have used Canvas before. If you haven't, it's very similar to other learning management systems. So you may have used Brightspace or Google Classroom or Blackboard in high school. So they're all very similar, but I want to make sure that you know how to use Canvas as well. So we're going to go through that and also give you an opportunity to see what UCF has in order to teach you what Canvas is all about. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. And we're going to go to the course. This is in the student view, so that this is what you should see when you are looking at the course. And so, like I said, Dr. Winston's and my class are very similar. Is anyone in Dr. Winston's class, if you can give me a thumbs up, just so I can see if there's. Okay, so I see a couple of you. Okay, so okay, Asian, we are very similar in how we do things. So all of the assignments are the same. It's just we're two different people, right? All right, so this is what the class looks like. You can see on the right, you have your to-do list. These are all the things that are coming up. I want to make sure you all know that this is, in a Summer B course, we are fitting 16 weeks of material into a 6-week course. And so it will go really fast because of that. So that's why there's so many assignments due quickly, is because we only have 6 weeks to get things done. So we have a lot to do in a short period of time. If you were in a in-person face-to-face class for SLS 1501, you would be in class for an hour and 50 minutes, 4 times a week. So basically about 8 hours a week plus homework assignments. And so you should be expecting to do about the same amount in this class, because it's worth the same amount of credit hours as an in-person class, if that makes sense. But instead of doing it at the same time every day, we give you asynchronous modules to learn about the material. And so I'm going to show you some of that. And then if you ever have any questions, make sure to put it in the chat so that I can see those. All right. And I'm going to make sure I have all of your chats available to me too, and people are just coming in at random times, so you'll see more people come into the class. All right, so this is the front page of the class. We already talked about the to-do list on the right, but where you want to start is this Get Started button, right? Before you worry about the to-do list things, I want you to go to the Get Started button. Okay, so we're going to have a page on each of these 6 areas. What I want you to do is think about going through the modules for everything in this class, okay? Because the modules will be leading you up to assignments and teaching you the material you need in order to complete the assignments. So you want to go through the modules in order instead of clicking on the assignments individually, because you're going to miss on the learning for those assignments, okay? So before you begin, make sure that you have, browser that Canvas supports. I always use Google Chrome and it works fine. If you ever have any need for technology support, they have this phone number here and it's called UCFIT, and you can also email them. So go there if you have any technical support that you need. Okay, so some things, if you look at your account right here, you might have this grayed out image. You can add a profile picture. That is great for you to kind of signify who you are in the Canvas profile. Okay, you can also add pronouns and things like that if you edit your profile. Also, notification preferences. You can ask Canvas to notify you when a grade is posted or when an announcement is posted. It's really good to modify your notification preferences for what you want to hear, and you can have them send it to you in your to your email. You can also connect to your Google Drive if you do assignments through Google Drive. So just easy for you to do that. Okay, so there's some student help guides, this Nights Online is another thing that you can do for web course support. Okay, they also have an app that you can download for Canvas. So I would suggest that you do that, not for really submitting assignments as much, but for checking grades and announcements, things like that. It can be a little hard to do in a whole assignment on the app. Okay, the to-do list is great, where I showed you what that looked like on the front page. Okay, this accessibility acknowledgement, this is going to be required for everyone to complete in order to view the next module. Okay, this is just saying that you know that if you have an accommodation need, that you go through Student Accessibility Services. So even if you don't go through Student Accessibility Services, you've read it and you know it's true, right? So you're going to have to press this true button in order to view the next module. Okay, so this is just a check to make sure that you've read it. Okay, so I have a course orientation here, which is a video. I told you already about this is an hour and 15 minutes a day, just like you were in in-person class. Right? So you need to make sure to carve out about an hour and 50 minutes every day, Monday through Thursday. You can also do it on the weekends if you want to, but this is just if you had a normal class week, so that you don't put everything off until the day assignments are due, because then you would be spending about 7 hours and 20 minutes in a single day on all the assignments. You really should be breaking it out in multiple days so that you don't stress yourself out. Okay, so if you have a calendar app, go ahead and carve out about 2 hours a day to go through the material. And then, of course, you have the assignments on top of that. Okay, I have a Calendly link that you can click on to make an appointment with me. It will go into a calendar that will show my free availability, and it automatically does a 30-minute appointment. So you could choose whatever day and time you want. Hopefully it fits with your availability as well. You'll put in Calendly link. I'll follow up with a Zoom link after that, so that we can have a one-on-one meeting if you need extra help. But I do encourage you to try to find the answers to your questions first on the modules, or email me because it will be quicker that way if you find the answer yourself, or you email me something quick. I know I already had 3 students email me this morning, and I was able to take care of those questions really quick. Okay, so this is a 3-credit course, and you do get a grade in this course. We want you to achieve these outcomes after the class. Learn more about time management, study skills, learn how to make goals and set goals, understand what research is, understand college level research, be able to do a presentation, because that's something you'll be doing in this class, be able to achieve excellent writing skills, and learn about how to get involved on campus and how that can relate to your career goals. Okay, and you can see here, I'm just clicking next every time, going through the module in order. Okay, course schedule. At the top here is where I link all of the chapter reviews. I have one on Friday for chapter 1 because this first week we're only going through 1 chapter, right? All the other dates, I'm doing 2 chapters together. We are, it's a little bit out of order, so I don't want you to get confused about this. For the first half of the class, we're doing chapters 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Then we'll have a midterm on those chapters. And then we go back to chapter 4 and 7, 8. We're skipping chapter 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so every time before a midterm or a final, I'll do a live review where I go over a PowerPoint about the chapter, and you can learn more about it and ask me questions live. Okay, so if you look at the weekly schedule here, all the modules are linked here for what's due. And so that's going through the entire module and doing all the assignments within the module. Within every module, you'll have little widgets, which are little games to test your knowledge of what you learned previously, and also some quizzes as well, and other assignments, papers, presentations, things like that. The widgets, it's important that you go through the module and hit next in order for the point to count. You want to do it within Canvas, not click to put it outside of Canvas, because then it doesn't know you're part of the class, if that makes sense. But if you just do it through the modules, everything should be fine. Okay, and all of these live sessions are optional, and they will be recorded for my class and Dr. Winston's class, so you'll be able to refer back to them if these times don't fit your schedule. Okay, so the drop deadline for this class is Friday at 11:59 p.m. That's also the swap deadline. So you need to make sure that if you are, wondering if you want to stay in the class or not, that you do it before that deadline. Okay, so at any point, if you have any questions, you can either raise your hand or put them in the chat, and I'll answer those. Okay, so week 1, we're going through UCF history and chapter 1. You'll have a quiz on UCF history. There's also an academic activity that you have to do on web course in order to get credit for the class. Every class in UCF requires an academic activity to show that you were engaged the first week, and that's for financial aid purposes. Little backstory, we used to have some people who signed up for classes, got federal financial aid, but were not engaged in the class at all. And so the government wasn't too happy about that. Wanted to make sure that if you are getting financial aid, that you are engaged starting the first week. So there has to be an assignment every first week in every class at the university that shows that you were engaged that first week. All right, week 2 starts with learning styles. We start learning about plagiarism and managing your time. The university is closed on July 4th and 5th, and so there aren't any assignments due those 2 days. So, but there are assignments due on other days of the week. Then we go into reading and note-taking, studying and memory and test-taking, and then your midterm is at the end of that week. Okay, all the midterms are accessible by clicking this quiz button over here, and they're online, open book and text. Oh, speaking of open text, Dr. Winston and I were able to show all of the online textbook information within the modules, and the quizzes are within the modules as well. And so you do not need to buy the Flex Ed textbook for this class. If you bought it, you can return it. It was only like $29, so even if you opened it or used it, it's not that big of a deal, but we were able to take material and do it ourselves so that there's no out-of-pocket cost for you all for this class. Okay, week 4, we go over chapters 4 and 7. And this is when you have a literature review paper due. So one thing in this class is you are going to do a literature review paper and a presentation that is going to be on a student success showcase page, which I'll explain in a second. So you're going to choose a topic about student success that interests you. And you're going to find 3 articles, 2 which have to be peer-reviewed journal articles. And don't worry, we teach you how to do that through the modules. So it could be how alcohol is a deterrent to student success, or how getting involved helps a student be successful. It could be how nutrition affects student success. I give you a bunch of topics that you could choose from, and you're going to find 3 articles that relate to that topic. You're going to do kind of like an outline in this research summary worksheet, and then write a literature review paper, which is basically a summary of what these articles have said about your topic. And then you're going to do a voiceover PowerPoint or Prezi on your own kind of web page where you embed the video, and we teach you how to do all of that. And we're even going to have an audience choice award where you all get to vote on each other's presentations, and the top 3 get some pretty major extra credit points. So it's in your best interest to do that. Okay, speaking of participating with each other, one major component that we have in this class is called Yellow Dig. Through the module, you will see this, but I am going to open this link in a new window, and hopefully I show my screen. Oh, I'm in a student view. I'm going to leave student view so that I can get into Yellow Dig. Okay, I think you should be able to see Yellow Dig on here. Okay, so Yellow Dig is our discussion board platform for this class. Some of you may have done, has anyone ever done discussion boards in an online class before, where you probably have to post a response to a prompt that your instructor did and then respond to 2 other peers for discussion posts? Has anyone ever done an assignment like that before? If you could just use your thumbs up, okay. We decided that this is a more interactive way to have discussions. And so this is more like a social media platform for you all to really get to know each other a little bit more. And so I went ahead and put some posts already up that you can respond to. And so if you go to your community, you're going to see some posts already on here that I just kind of put on that you can respond to. You earn points. If you see here, the points earned, you want to earn 5,000 points per weekly session, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, 1,000 points per weekly session. But you can earn more and get extra credit the more you interact with people. And I'm going to show you how that point breakdown happens in a second. So you can respond to posts and get points. You can create your own posts and get points. You get more if you post videos or do polls. And so what you would do is you're going to create a post, and you have a subject area that this post is off of, right? So if you have a question about something, that's this pink one, right? UCF events, any news maybe about something with student success, you know, the CRAP test, which is, you know, a lesson that you're going to learn about, information about the text, soft skills, college involvement, library and research, setting goals, study skills, all sorts of different topics, right? So you're not just putting out a text going like, who's going out this weekend? That's not really what this is for, right? You want to do it based on a subject that we are studying in class, right? So let's say you're doing note taking, right? And you do a post about note taking. Okay. You would do a title for your post. Maybe it's something like the Cornell method, right? Anyone ever heard the Cornell method of note taking? It's one of the things we learned about in this class. And then you could be like, hi all, I tried the Cornell method and it didn't really work for me. What are some other examples of other note-taking methods that you all have tried that work well, right? So you might post this community post. You can maybe attach a picture of it, draw something about what the Cornell note looks like, do a poll and maybe say, what is the best note-taking method for you? Is it mind mapping? Is it linear? Is it outline? You know, is it doing endnotes, right, on a computer? And have people, you know, vote for which one is theirs. All these are going to get you points up towards this 1,000 target, right? Okay, so it's kind of like social media. So I'm going to discard that draft. These are some things that you could do. I do a prompt for you to do a elevator pitch, explain what an elevator pitch is. I did a prompt about what UCF events are you interested in and post the event calendar. Just kind of give you an idea of what these posts look like. I have some information about what Yellow Dig is all about. You need 5,000 points in order to get full credit, and that is over the 6-week period. The first 1,000 point milestone is due week 2 at the end. And the reason why I did this is because week 1 is still add drop. And I might have students coming in and out that first week, and you're kind of getting your feet wet anyway. So by the end of week 2, you should have 1,000 points. As you do things, these points are going to get higher and higher, and you're going to see in the right-hand side how many points you've earned. So every Friday night, the weekly point is going to be reset. Okay, so at the end of week 2, you'll be reset, and the week 3 will be the second 1,000 point milestone, if that makes sense. Okay, you can earn extra credit up to 35%. So 1,000 is the required to get full credit, but you can earn up to 1,350 points in extra credit per week that we have a milestone. So that's week 1 and 2 combined, week 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you can earn lots of extra credit if you're an active user on Yellow Dig. Now on the gradebook, it might be confusing because it shows that 5,000 is required for the class, but obviously you're not making 5,000 the first week. So you're gonna have a low grade in this assignment, but don't worry, it will build up, and these points automatically dump into the gradebook in Canvas after every grading period milestone. Okay. So there's some Yellow Dig orientation videos that you can do to get more knowledgeable about it. I did a little introduction, you know, here's some more information about how to get engaged in Yellow Dig. Okay. So the more things you do, like doing the videos, the, you know, responding to other people's posts, posting, you're going to get point towards your final grade. Okay, so I'm going to go to the course and I'm going to show you how you get points. It's going to be up in just a little bit. Okay, some things I want to make sure that you look at the calendar, you look at the modules before you ask questions. It's just I have 50 students in this class, and so I'd rather you try to find the answer first before answering me, but I'm always, you know, very quick to answer questions. But I just want to make sure that you're looking for the answer first. Okay. Make sure you're checking your inbox, and that is over here on the yellow bar here, your inbox, because that's how I'll be communicating with you. Okay, here's the information about Nights Online for information about IT. It's all on there. Okay. I do have some of these little games on here. Some are for credit, some aren't. So the UCF Creed is something that's important. I want to make sure that you know what that means. And so you could just kind of randomly, put lines and see how you do. All of these widgets, you have unlimited attempts. I'm not even looking at these right now to see if I get them right, but you can see how you do it when you finish. Oh, I only got 20%. So you can play it again, right? You can keep on replaying in order to get these points. Okay, here's all information about academic integrity, saying what plagiarism is, what you can and can't do. It's really important to know this. We also teach this as part of the class. Course accessibility statement. If you do have a need for accessibility services, make sure you are going to student accessibility services for those, and that's like extra time on tests and quizzes and things like that. And this is something that you can read on your own time. Just for the sake of time, I'm just going to go here quickly. Any religious observances, let me know if you need any help for this, but since this is an asynchronous class, it shouldn't really affect you all. If you ever need help at UCF, if you have a challenge, things like that, please let me know. But Student Care Services is another great place to go to. So if you have food insecurity or having an issue with that you can't handle on your own, this is a good place to go. University Writing Center will help review papers, especially for the literature review paper. It's a great resource. You can do online consultations with them, and it's totally free for them to help you with your papers. Even if you don't even know where to start, they can help you create an outline. Totally a great resource for you. Okay. We do not allow any AI tools for assignments. So if you do it inappropriately, your own work will be tested as plagiarism. There are ways on Turnitin.com for them to see if something is used through ChatGPT or something similar. So just don't do it. Oh, for my class, any late assignments deducted 10% per calendar day. So those due dates, make sure that you are getting everything done by those due dates. Okay, the required text is an OpenStax textbook, which means it's open access, and we have embedded it all in this course through the modules. Okay, here's a little video about Yellow Dig. And here's how you get points. So watch that Yellow Dig. Yellow Dig counts for 10% of your grade. So 100 points out of the 1,000 is for class participation, and that's through Yellow Dig. So if you write a post of at least 40 words, you get 280 points. Okay. Myself, and then Julia Corey, who's a GTA graduate teaching assistant in my class, will be checking on these throughout, but we won't be responding to every post, but we'll be checking to make sure everything's going okay. So writing a post of 40 words, that's 280 points right there. Remember, it's 1,000 points per grading period. Writing a comment of at least 20 words, that's 210 points. Receiving a comment, so if you write a really cool post and someone responds to your post, you'll get 70 points. So this is a incentive to get posts done early in the grading period. Because if you're posting things at 11:59, right when it resets, no one has time to comment on your post, right? So you're missing out on these points or extra credit points, okay? If you get a reaction on your post or comment, like if you get, smiley face, thumbs up, things like that, that's 55 points. And then myself and Julia Corey will also be going in and putting in accolades, which means that we think it's a really good thing that you've done here, and depends on the accolade for how many points you get. And like I said, if you did polls or videos, that's other, points that you get there. Okay, so everything is explained here about those Yellow Dig. points. And here are all the start and end dates. Okay, so you see the first period for 1,000, you get a week and 5 days for that because it's on Friday when it ends. Okay, if you see a post that is inappropriate, never had this happen before, right? Because usually if you're doing posts for grade, they're going to be appropriate, right? But you can flag a post and that will notify me and Julia Corey to check it out if anything's ever inappropriate. Okay, and we're going to be active participants in this. Like you saw some of the posts I've already done. You can go ahead and respond to those posts to start your 1,000 points or up to 1,350. Start accumulating those points. Okay, any questions so far? Just let me know. All right. Mentioned the text earlier. That's free. It's all embedded in this course. You can click on this link to actually see the text in full. If you want to go through the text, you could see like chapter 2, you can like click on everything, but don't worry, we have copied all of this and put it in the course. So really it's, I think, better to go through the modules and just learn as you go through the modules. Within the modules, you're going to see those text pages from the OpenStax College Success textbook. You're going to see those widgets, which is like that UCF Creed game, just to test your knowledge. Most of these are worth like 1 point. Canvas Studio, which is like a YouTube video with little quiz questions throughout. So it's important to watch the video in its entirety because questions will pop up based on what the presenter has said, and you're going to answer those live as you're watching that video, and then you'll submit that that quiz at the end of the video. So this is to make sure that you're understanding everything that's spoken in the video. They have these Obo Jobo modules. These are like lessons and quizzes embedded in some of these modules. So they're like mini modules within the big modules. So it could be on like the plagiarism information that the library has done about what is plagiarism. So you'll learn about it and then do a little quiz on it at the end. All of this is self-grading and should pop up in your grade book. Please let me know if you ever see any errors throughout, and I will fix them as soon as possible. Okay, these are all the modules that you will learn about throughout this semester. Just a reminder, chapter 4 is out of order here on purpose, and chapter 9 we're not doing. All right. Student Success Series, we want you to go to 2 events that UCF is hosting. 15 points each. You're just going to do a reflection of what you saw at the event. If you're not in person, don't worry. There are lots of Zoom events that are happening on campus. Here is a list of different places you can go to find different events. The UCF events calendar is probably the best because it has, like, it's a clearinghouse for most events on campus. So, for example, you can see this one is tonight at 6 o'clock. It's a healthcare informatics master's information session. You know, it's virtual. And they can just click on the different days on this calendar and find some different things that are going on. Introduction to cost structure is virtual. How to develop an effective, business sales strategy. So I would recommend just going through this calendar. If you're here on campus or local, try to go to something on campus. But if not, you can how to use Canva. That would be kind of fun. That is on Wednesday. What is graduate and professional school? So all sorts of different things. So go to as many as you can, but 2 is required for this course, and you'll do a reflection for each of these. All right, the Student Success Research Project that I mentioned. Okay, I got a random question, but I think it's good for all of you. How do you know how much time you've attended class each week? Like, is there a way to check how much time you have spent each week on the module? There actually is, I can check per student how many minutes you've been active in the class. But I am not tracking to see that you're engaged an hour and 50 minutes a day. That's just how long it should take you to get through all the assignments or all the modules. So I'm not grading you on if you were active for that entire time period that I said you should be, but that's just the expectation of how much it will take. However, on Yellow Dig, it is tracking your participation by how active you are in Yellow Dig. That make sense? If not, just let me know. Okay. The Student Success Research Project is kind of shows how I get you prepared to write that literature review paper and then do that presentation at the end. So you're going to do a module as an Obojobo module, one of those mini modules I talked about, on how to do a literature review, which is a research paper with 3 articles, how to cite sources in APA style. Many of you are probably familiar with MLA in high school. Now that you're in college, it kind of switches to APA citations. This research check is kind of saying, okay, what do you want to do your research on? Give you different student success topics to choose from. So you kind of lock in an area so that when you learn about how to find articles in the library, there's a whole module on that, on how to look things up on the library database. You're going to do these research summary worksheets where I ask, okay, where'd you find these journal articles? What's the topic about? Things like that. Then you do your paper. So the research summary worksheets is kind of like a big outline for your literature review paper. And then you do a module on how to do a good presentation. And then you're going to actually do a voiceover presentation and create this Canvas page where other people will be able to vote on your presentations for the Audience Choice Award. So that's kind of the structure for the research project in this class. And I know I'm going through all of this really quickly, but everything is in the module. You can always go back to it. So here are the links to all of those different assignments, but it's best to go through it in the module. But you can always click, let's say if you're like, I want to know what this literature review paper, how it's graded. We have a video about what it's all about. We even have a template here, which is a Word doc, which has like how like the font type is all correct and the margins are all correct. So you could just download that Word doc and start the paper from there. We even give it you some examples of what lit review papers look like. Right, so it's a great way for you to kind of get accustomed before going the day things are due and try to do a paper from scratch. I would not recommend that. All right, and any other questions, just keep them in the chat. Exam, there are 2 exams. We have a midterm and a final. The midterm is based on the first chapters that we've learned in the class up to that point. And then the final exam is the last half of the chapters. Okay, so that is a little video on that too. Okay, this is that academic activity. It's a little test based on what we've learned in this syllabus and any of these videos. So for example, like, an exam takes 90 minutes to complete. So I'm going to drop this down there. Exam is only open for 48 hours. Final. Peer-reviewed journal articles is for the Student Success Research Project. Right? Oh, 1,000-point weekly goal. Remember, that's Yellow Dig, right? So you're kind of dropping things down and you'll hit submit, saying that you've kind of understood what the class is all about. All right. Oh, I'm going to be back as a student. Oh, shoot. Sometimes that does that if I, because I'm not a student. Career exploration. We want you as this class to learn more about what you might want to do when you graduate and kind of help you get ready. You're going to watch this resume writing workshop and you're going to submit your own resume that will be graded. So we kind of teach you how to do a resume, and then you do a resume. The co-curricular activity worksheet is to get you interested in what do you want to get involved with when you're here at UCF? What clubs do you want to join? What other high impact practices do you want to do? Do you want to work at the Recreation Wellness Center? Do you want to join the chocolate club? Do you want to do undergraduate research? You're gonna, in this worksheet, kind of research what's available and then put it all on there so we can kind of learn what you want to get involved with on campus. And then academically, we want to make sure that you know what is required of you before you graduate. So you're going to learn more about what the general education program is, what your degree requirements are. We're going to have you create a 4-year plan of what classes you're going to take what semester so you can figure out what your graduation date is going to be. And then if you go to an academic success coach or an advisor to talk about your plan and submit verification that you did go meet with an advisor, we'll give you 15 points extra credit. And out of 1,000 points, that's going to be, pretty good. It could be make or break a grade from like an A- to an A. So it's always good to see your academic success coach. Okay, and this starts the first main module of UCF history. So I'm not going to really get into this because this is starting with the content of the course, and the previous was about information about the course. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and see if you all have any information, because I can go back to any page that I had previously looked at and re-explain anything that might be still a little muddy for you. And you can either unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can put it in the chat. I know it was a lot of information really quick. Okay, the question is it required to add our phone number as another contact? So are you talking, I think you're talking about on Canvas for notifications. I don't believe it's required. It's just if you want text messages about, your grades are posted or things like that, it's a way for you to get notified. And then do our Yellow Dig posts have to be about this class itself, or can be about UCF as a whole? Well, one of the Yellow Dig topics that you could do was about community announcements. So if you're like, I am in the Pre-Professional Medical Society and we are having this open house on Tuesday, you could do that, right? Or there's one on UCF events. If you're like, hey, everyone, I'm going to go to this, July 4th celebration that they're doing on Memory Mall. They're not, but I'm saying if you did, if anyone wants to meet up with me, I'm going to be in front of the psychology building at 10 o'clock. You could do that. So this is a way for you all to communicate, kind of like if you were in an in-person class. These are things that might come up in class. This is a way for you to still communicate in kind of that same manner through this social media type of profile. Because like in class, you might go to your neighbor and be like, hey, I'm going to go to this event tonight. Do you want to come? This is a way for you to do that. So it's a way for you to interact, in a more collegial atmosphere. Hopefully that answered your question. Any other questions? Oh, one other thing, let me show you how to find the syllabus. Go back to the course. If you're in the course, you just click on syllabus. And there's a download version here. But the syllabus is basically threaded throughout the Canvas course and all of the different drop downs that we have. But if on the syllabus link, if you want a download copy, you can click that there. But this is how the point values are set up. Like I said, 10% is yellow dig. The student success series is 10. The research project is 219. The module assignments, all those little assignments throughout, and also some major ones like the lib review or some other things are embedded in that 427 points. We do an exam review, which is kind of like a way to test yourself before you do the exam. That's worth 10 points each, 10 for the midterm, 10 for the final. Exams are 100 points for the midterm, 100 points for the final. I will be giving extra credit throughout for different things, and also those accolades on Yellow Dig, you'll be able to earn extra credit points there too. This is a plus minus grade scale. So be knowledgeable of that. And then down here, it has all the assignments and the due dates. On the calendar app here, this will take a minute to pop up. You're going to be able to see all your courses you're taking this summer in one calendar. And it will also pop up on your to-do list, things that are coming up on the calendar. I'm going to show you how to click on all your classes for this semester. Like I said, it takes a minute because it's kind of big. Okay, so over here on the calendar, let's say you have more than one class, and right now it just says SLS because you're clicking it inside the SLS course. But let's say I have another class I'm teaching. Here, if you click that, those will pop up as well, and they're color coded. And so you can look at all the assignments for all your classes at the same time. If you just want to look for this class, you just unclick the other class and see it here. You can kind of see I have different sets of the module due on various days. And so if you look at July, you can see how it's kind of spaced throughout. I know Dr. Winston may have different due dates for everything, but that's how I do it. And the Yellow Dig participation reminder is on here, that every week the 1,000 points is due. Is not an assignment. It's more of like an announcement to remind you to get all your Yellow Dig points in. But then I also have the optional chapter reviews on here. So for example, for chapters 4 and 7, you click on that. It's not an assignment, but it's a reminder. But it's on your calendar and you can click that. It's the same Zoom link for all of them throughout the entire semester. But like I said before, it will be recorded. Just thought those are two other important things for me to note. Okay, question about the student success events. So I'm just going to pull up the assignment real quick. Okay, so there's two, one due on July 13th and one due July 31st. So the first one, and it'll pop up in a module too. You could go to any event that you want to go to, and what you're going to do is you're going to respond to this prompt. What did you learn from the event you attended? How will you apply what you've learned? Okay, so it's a kind of a two-part question. You can do a video response, a write response. So let's say you went to that session on graduate school preparation. Be like, these are the different things I learned, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to apply it because now I know that, I just did my academic plan and I know I graduate in 3.5 years. I know I'm going to start studying for the GRE and maybe a year before I graduate. So that'd be a way that you could apply what you did. You're also able to maybe do a selfie of yourself at the event to show that you were there, or a screenshot of, yourself in the Zoom link to kind of double verify that you attended that event. But basically, what did you learn? How are you going to apply it? Okay, good question. Where do we review the recorded Zoom meetings? Okay, so on the homepage, I am going to post them here where it says click here for the optional Zoom lesson schedule and links. On here, I'm gonna put the recorded version next to everyone. So for this class intro meeting, I'm gonna put the recording, like YouTube video right after it. And then for those of you in my class, you can also click Zoom. This won't work for Dr. Winston's class. Dr. Winston, I'm going to be sending the YouTube videos to. And you can go to Cloud Recordings, and it will be linked here too. So you can always go to the Zoom link and look at the recordings that way. These pretty pictures here just have like some shortcuts to some things like the yellow dig, the introduction, the course schedule, information about the research project, and student success showcase. The midterm and final could be clicked on right here to go to those midterm and final links. They're not going to be viewable for you until the midterm opens up for 2 days, and same thing with the final. You can also access them by clicking on this quizzes link here. And don't worry, I'll let you know when the midterm and final are open. There's all my contact information at the bottom here. I am on campus in Farrell Commons 165. I'm the director for Lead Scholars Academy. So that is where my office is. It's right near 63 South, the main dining hall, across the road from the Recreation and Wellness Center, right next to Garage B as in boy. That's where I'm located physically. So if you ever want to meet with me in person, if you're local, when you make the Calendly, um, appointment, you can always say, I want to meet with you in person, and you can do that. All right. Any other questions? Last chance. All right. I'm gonna